Well, life is tough. I know. I know. Because sometimes it's up and down, disharmony, finances, responsibility, and going through different stages when your children are now growing up from this cute little Wawa face into a teenager who just think that you are nothing, right? Also, our parents growing old. Speaking of which, I am going to Malaysia next week to spend the last few weeks with my mama, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity. But the purpose of this video is because there is so much emotions that we could handle and we can work on, but a lot of times we don't know how to work on it. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's not a story, but it's true. So last weekend, I taught a class. It's one of the emotional release class that I teach from CARE, Center of Aromatherapy Research and Education. The reason emotional release is very effective with essential oils is because we have 5 senses. Sense of sight, taste, smell, hear, and touch. Every senses, except for the sense of smell, when you see something, when you taste something, when you hear something, when you touch the barbecue, it goes through your prefrontal cortex. So that is our reasoning brain, and that is what we think. But the sense of smell, when you smell, it goes right through to the olfactory nerves and then back to the back of the head. That's called the olfactory bulb, which is also known as the seat of emotion and memories. So in this course that I teach, it's just a 5-hour class. We learn how emotions are lodged in our body and how we need to release them. And there are books and protocols that we follow. So during the class that I was teaching on the weekend, I was going through with the class what book to follow and what emotions. We can find the emotion through our bodily issues, our emotions, pain, or when you smell is an essential oils, is like, whoa, 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 what's that? You don't want to touch it. So all these are some of the ways that we can work on. So when I was teaching the class, I realized I haven't really dealt with the emotion of sorrows. If I think back in the last 10, 15 years, I have been going. And in a very short time, I lost my mom, my dad, and at that time, my husband's mom, whom I love dearly, and his dad, whom I love dearly as well. And as you know, my parents are from Malaysia. So when my mom and dad passed away, well, for my dad, I was home to take care of him for a month in Malaysia. I bought my little daughter at that time. I think she was maybe 4 or 5 years old. And then I came back, and not even a day later, I think it was a day, not maybe a day, 24 hours later, got a call that my dad has passed away. So I went back. I bought 4 tickets for my husband at that time and my 2 kids. We went back because in the Chinese culture, it's very important to walk your father to the last journey, and that's what I did. And then my mom, she was on the wheelchair after a stroke, but then she started using some really amazing products that we have been sending home. And she started walking again. And one night she went to the bathroom without wanting to wake up the maid, and she fell and she had a double concussion. And she passed away in a very short time. And I don't remember if it's within a day or 2 she passed away. And I remember when I got the call from my family, I was coming back from Croatia. I just in Croatia learning Raindrop from Gary Young, as well as Emotional Release from Gary Young, who is the founder of Young Living. So I remember being in Toronto Pearson Airport, and I got a message from my brother that says, you need to come back. And I turned around, repacked my suitcase, bought my daughter, and we went back to Malaysia. But on the way home, she passed away. It's a long story. There's so much detail that I'm leaving out. But so I never really dealt with that sorrow. the pain. And also, I have a few really sad relationships that I never really dealt with. So on the weekend, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. So it was the oil called Acceptance. And I put the oil in my bra, and there was an alarm point that you use, scriptures. So, and I did that numerous times a day, like every half hour, every 15 minutes, and I did that. By right, you could do it every hour. You don't have to do it like crazy, but this is Jasmine. I do things crazy. So by the end of the day, or even late afternoon, it kicked my ass. All these deep-seated sorrows came all the way up, and I got a massive headache. I don't get headache, you don't understand. 14 years ago, I was healed from chronic migraine. Prior to that, since I was a teenager till 14 years ago, I used to have this migraine on my right side that it was really difficult. I remember at that time, my daughter was like 2 years old, and I'm not going to lift out all these details, but anyways. But I started using aromatherapy, and I have no headaches for the last 14 years. And last weekend, it kicked my ass. I remember laying on my bed, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I wish I can just go on somebody's website and book a session. Somebody that does what I do. I want to book a session, and I just want to get this out. I just want to deal with this. But there's none. There's none. I have taught so many students, and I'm kicking everybody's ass that get certified, get doing that. And I'm teaching a group of ladies and gentlemen in my mastery group, and I'm going to talk about more this week. It's more because of the confidence and humility. But anyways, so I continue to work on myself, and within about 24 hours, everything left. Oh, by the way, within that 24 hours, I also fell down the stairs and hurt my neck. You know, when it rains, it pours. I was sitting at the bottom of the stairs like, you know. But little did I know that God was preparing me for something really big. So once the headache went, my arms felt better, like totally better. I got a message that my mama has stage 4 cancer, and she has a few weeks to live. So I am going back to Malaysia next week to spend a few weeks with her, 3 weeks. And if I haven't had the chance to deal with the emotion of sorrows, I probably will be a wreck at this moment. But I felt very regulated. I do have the same problem like everyone else, but the difference that I've seen with really going into the holistic way of living, I felt that I'm able to regulate. I'm able to work through things a little bit more calm, that my nervous system is not going boop, 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 boop. And I'm able to make decisions and be wise about things. So I just want to share this little testimony, and I hope it will touch your heart. You might think, where do I start now? What do I go? I would say step 1, connect with me. I want to introduce you to using essential oils. I know you may have used essential oils before, but I want to share with you how I use them. Give it a try for 2 months, 3 months. Don't like it? Nothing much to lose. But if you like it, it's a game changer. And then after that, depending on where you are, what you're facing, we can work through things. I introduce to you light therapy. I will introduce to you some simple way of using oils for emotional release. You know, there's so many things that you could do. But instead of getting pressed down, let's get up and let's try something. Okay? The essential oils, some of them are very expensive, some of them are not expensive. $10, $20, $50. this will be the best investment that you can make. So let's try that and we can go from there. Sounds good? So my website is Wellness with Jasmine, Jasmine, and I hope to hear from you soon.